We are getting to the very nitty-gritty of the season, and every point from here on in counts. Hello, everyone. I am Metafiction, and we have four potentially very important matches today as the title race for the minor division remains sort of within touching distance. North Shore have opened up a bit of a gap, but are still potentially within reach of their competitors, depending on certain results. Inter London currently best placed to catch up to them. They're in action today against Capstad. Meanwhile, North Shore visiting Atheni in our final match. But our first match of the day, it's going to be Cairo City hosting AS Paris. Of course, the Sao Paulo AS Paris organization has had some hard times over the last few seasons. Paris faring a little better than their major league affiliates. Certainly going to be interesting to see how they deal with the Cairo challenge. Meanwhile, Montreal is going to be still smarting after an 8-4 defeat to North Shore last time out. They'll be looking to take their revenge on Seoul Mythic. Certainly going to be a very important match day, as I've said. Starting out, we have Cairo in the 4-1-4-1. Very defensive shape against a similar shape from AS Paris, although with the left winger Lund pushed up much more advanced. You can see there, Inter London 6 points behind North Shore United, but that gap could very easily close with the right swing of results. For now, though, we begin in Cairo, and it is Cairo City who get us started going right to left in the yellow and brown. It is an early corner for Cairo City as Alturkis stands over it. The delivery goes in. It's headed not far wide, courtesy of Barflett pushing it behind. Now it is Pleasureman's turn to send it in from the opposite side. Once again, headed out of danger this time by Van Dorn. Alturkis wins another corner for Cairo. That's 3 in very quick succession. And it comes, and Barflett making a diving stop. Really getting up there to get in the way of that shot. Visser now with the free kick, headed in, and I believe that was Pleasureman who handed it into the side netting. So Cairo with the upper hand in the early stages. And here is Super Hoops with the throw-in. Sending it in, but nobody was around Barflett, who was able to claim it from the air, now sending it long up the field. Pleasureman. Inclon trying to pressure here. Sends it back to Presunti. Now here's Lee. Haglin from distance, and Barflett having enough time to get in front of that one. Leslie trying to pass forward for Paris, but Presunti awake to it, and now Pleasureman sending it over the top for Hayden. Hayden, one-on-one, and sends it skimming over the crossbar. Now Van Dorn intercepting that pass and trying to send it long, but Papadopoulos did not make the run that Van Dorn was looking for. Passing around here on the left flank as Haglin finds Alturkis. Alturkis squares it for Hayden. Hayden sends it just wide of the post. Both of these tactics very deep set. Going to be hard to break down. It's going to be a matter of which team can find the way to unlock their opponent. So far, it looks to be Cairo with more of the chances. But all it takes is one moment of brilliance in this league. Here's Presunti. Trying the through ball, but Hayden not in the right place, and perhaps would have been offside regardless. Ness off of LeVere. What a moment that was, and Hayden pouncing on it. A defensive miscue, and Paris will pay for it. Ness trying to pass it up the field, but it catches LeVere in the back. And Caleb Hayden was right there to put it away. Cairo City 1, AS Paris 0, off of a moment they'd like to forget. Now Prezunti standing over the free kick. What a free kick that was by Mario Prezunti! Deep into stoppage time in the first half. An absolutely brilliant kick, curling over the wall and into the top corner. Bartlett could do nothing about that strike. And Cairo City have doubled their advantage in spectacular fashion going into the break. Well, I would suggest that goal might have just changed the complexion of this match entirely. At 1-0, it seemed like, off of a defensive mishap, it seemed like a hole that Paris might be able to climb out of. But then that free kick, absolutely devastating. Paris now having to pick themselves up during halftime and into the start of this second half after those moments. Here is Cairo coming forward again. Haglund. Pleasureman heads down for Hayden. Hayden heads it over the bar. Cinnamon trying to bring it down, but it ends up with Visser. Turkis and Haglund dispossessed by Ness, looking to make up for that miscue. Lund to Mayhem. Mayhem pressured by Pleasureman and Super Hoops, but does get the pass in. Inclon brought down. Lund had a shot. It looked like there might have been a shout for a penalty as Inclon went down, but referee ruling the challenge got the ball and no foul awarded. Turkis almost losing out to Van Dorn there. Here's Hayden. Being forced deep, all the way back to Hoop. Now Super Hoops with some space on the near flank. Lung tries to get the foot in, but Super Hoops just shot over the bar regardless. Three minutes to play, and it's been all Cairo City here. Outside of the two, essentially the two biggest moments of this match, they have dominated chances created. And as time ticks down, they've imposed their will on this match. Only 5 minutes to go. The ball goes in. It falls to Prezunti. Now Haglund on the edge of the area. Bartlett with another good save. Paris need to manufacture anything they can in these closing minutes. But it's Cairo coming forward again through Haglund, who lays it off to Visser. Visser, the low cross to Hayden, but blocked at the point of exit. And ultimately coming to nothing that time. We are now at the mercy of the referee to call the match, and there is the final whistle. Cairo City, off of a couple of very inventive moments, have seized control of this match and the 3 points. Caleb Hayden pouncing on that defensive mistake from Paris, and Mario Prezunti with an absolute beauty of a free kick. And that has done the damage here for Cairo. As Paris certainly regretting those moments. One of them they couldn't really do much about, but that miscue really did set the tone for the rest of the match. Was neither of these teams really particularly close to North Shore in first place, but we'll certainly be hoping for slip-ups along the way. So a 2-0 victory for Cairo City. That will take them to 13 points on the season. Paris remaining in last place after that loss. Next up, it's Montreal United hosting Seoul Mythic FC. As I said earlier, Montreal still smarting from an 8-4 loss at the hands of North Shore on Matchday 8. Seems likely they'll be coming out swinging against Seoul Mythic, looking to set the record straight. Seoul themselves, of course, coming off a 2-0 win over Cairo, looking to keep that momentum going. Montreal in the 4-2-2-2, as is Seoul. Certainly a unique tactic. It's not one you see very often, but the two teams that seem to be attempting to make it fairly iconic have drawn each other today. So it'll be very interesting to see how the style clashes against itself. Going to come down to the finer details, and also to the individual skill of the players involved. As Zerhouni winning that ball from Seoul early on in this match. Ryan out on the far wing, swarmed by a number of Montreal players, but does get it back. Heavy touch though, brings it in, and Wesley Staines from distance. And here's Ken. Crosses in, headed off the bar, and put back by Mei Suzuki. Well, once again, talk about being in the right place at the right time. This delivery finds Tucker, who can't quite get it on target. It pings around a little bit, but Suzuki ultimately gets it into the back of the net. And that is what matters here. And Montreal find themselves at an early advantage here. This will go a long way to banishing the insecurities of this most recent match, one would think, although over the top here by Aloisi by Seoul. Staines blocked by Schmidt, but back to Staines off the bar. And so nearly an equalizer right after the goal for Seoul Mythic. Ryan now with the corner kick, and it falls into the arms of Williams. And here is the long ball, headed down for 44, and 44 pushes it wide. Aloisi now, but dispossessed by Borat, who sends it back to the keeper. Schmidt. Through for Suzuki. Suzuki dribbling past and putting it in the side of the net that time. 2 for Suzuki, 2 for Montreal. Well, it was a quick move. It had to be. Suzuki getting around the challenge of Doug. and just lashing that into the net. How will Seoul respond to that? As Phantomens putting in the challenge and Ken bringing it forward. Here's Suzuki again on a hat trick now. Challenged by Spoon and loses out. The ball does end up back with Ken for the moment, or for a moment rather. Phantomens now over the top and ultimately lands with Garfield for Seoul. David Doug sending it long. Phantomens ultimately getting onto the end of it. 44 to Tucker. Now out wide. Borat finding the run of Tucker into close range. Montreal in a lethal mood here today. And it's already 3-0. Tucker playing that 1-2 to get the run into the box. Brilliant movement by Montreal to find that opening. And this will go some way to steadying the ship after that performance last time out, although Aloisi nearly getting one back, but missing over the bar. Well, we expected Montreal to be fired up, but this has been something else thus far. Ken trying to square it. Prosper, though, getting the interception. Now back to Ken. Crosses. Ryan heads it clear, but only as far as Tucker, who does send it back to Shaftwell. Borat's pass finds only Nagatoro Maradona. Aloisi, though, can't bring it in. Does now, though. Now potential space for Seoul. Aloisi trying to find an outlet. Ryan. Here's Staines. And that's a goal for Seoul Mythic. And it's off of Sami Zerhouni. Well, it's an unfortunate moment here for Montreal, who've been doing so well defensively. Staines trying to ping in the cross, perhaps for Aloisi or for Paul. But it goes off of the head of Zerhouni instead. And it's diverted into the net. You never like to see own goals, but Seoul certainly not going to complain. As Ken sends in this cross, headed down. Oh, and 44! Well, I don't think they'll mind that too much. An immediate reply from Montreal to restore the 3-goal lead. Ken running to the end line before they crossed. Tucker with a perfect heading down for 0-44. And all of a sudden, that own goal doesn't seem to weigh as heavily on the mind, one would think. Zerhouni perhaps breathing a bit of a sigh of relief after that goal as 0-44 wins the ball again. Ken chased by Nagatoro Maradona. Another cross in. Tucker off the bar. And ultimately sent clear by Garfield, only as far as Bierman though. Borat, an ambitious through ball, might have found Suzuki, but Sherwood denying that through ball behind for a corner. Schmidt finding Tucker at the edge of the box, has a go, but Spoon in exactly the right place to block it, although Tucker still with possession. Nagatoro Maradona sweeping up there. Well, we near halftime here, and Montreal, in blistering form, have a 3-goal advantage here. And frankly, I think this has gone a long way to dispelling the doubts from last week, match week. Although here is a shot from Prosper off the base of the post. That move developed quickly for Seoul, but the shot just off target. And that is how we will go into the half. Montreal 4, Seoul Mythic 1. And we see there from the XG, it is a tally of 1.9 to 0.45. Montreal certainly making plenty of chances for themselves. So here we go with the second half. Montreal starting us off right to left in black and green. That long ball ultimately does not find its target, but it will be a corner kick for Montreal. Schmidt's delivery headed clear by Aloisi. Tucker now with it, though. Passing around in the box for Montreal. Schmidt to Vantemans. Vantemans chips it over. Doesn't quite find a header, but here is Shaftwell. And Aloisi finally dealing with it for the moment, at least. Here's Ken. Pressured by Nagatoro Maradona, but does get around them. And Tucker's header, non-existent, frankly. Another thrust by Montreal here, but Nagatoro Maradona stopping it before it can start. Montreal continuing to pressure here. Zerhouni and Ken with some interplay on the far wing find Shaftwell, and now here's Borat. Tucker from distance off the corner of the goal. Ken squares it to Zerhouni, and redemption achieved. Well, now he's scored at both ends. Samir Zerhouni making up for that own goal in spectacular fashion. The shot pinging off of Jin Levy and into the net. And that is Montreal 5, Seoul Mythic 1, as Ryan comes up the wing. Borat trying to get some pressure in. It's back to Staines, and now Ryan again. Staines sends in the cross. Prosper's header can't keep it down. Falls to Prosper again. Prosper taking it back to Paul, trying to find Aloisi, but Shaftwell there with the defensive action. Spoon now getting onto it. Sends it back to Ryan, but 44 closing down very quickly. Early cross from Ryan. Nagatoro Maradona not able to get to the header first time. Squares it to Staines, though. Staines with another shot. First shot was blocked, the second one went high. And Schmidt's corner falls back to the taker as Tucker trying to block it is blocked again, and Shaftwell off the underside of the bar. Some very near misses here. Ultimately, Montreal ruled offside. Here's Tucker. Squaring to Ken. Ken forces another corner kick with that shot. Schmidt's delivery. Headed in by Bierman, it looked like, but Jin Levy getting down to stop it. Now can Seoul bring something to the table here? Staines sending out wide for Ryan, who has a lot of space. Ryan cutting inside, spoon back. Falls to Staines, but Shackwell getting the leg in. There is a corner kick for Seoul, as Ryan standing over it. Sent in, headed in by John Garfield. And if there's going to be a comeback, it had better start soon. And that's not a bad way to start it. Garfield heading it in at the near post. Just out of reach of Williams there. Time might not be on Seoul's side, though, as we reach 10 minutes to play, and it is still Montreal 5, Seoul 2. And here come Montreal until Doug dispossessing Suzuki there. Now here's Nagatoro Maradona. Nagatoro Maradona just missing wide. Missed chances for both sides today, as Seoul find themselves still with 3 goals to make up. But here is Paul. He's got numbers, but doesn't have the pass. Now Ryan out wide. 2 defenders, squares at the, tried to cross at the end line, but doesn't quite find it. But here's Paul. Paul forcing another corner kick for Seoul. Piling everything they've got forward here in the closing stages. But Tucker sending this one clear. Ken with a long pass forward, trying to find Suzuki, but Spoon is the first to it. And after that defeat to North Shore last match day, Montreal coming out in fine form today, proving that it was a fluke. Although here comes Doug for Seoul. Now Staines. Staines shoots, and it's just wide of the post. And another near miss goes begging for Seoul. Aloisi with the free kick. And Nagatoro Maradona's pass sent all the way back up the other end. A professional showing from Montreal, to be sure. As this ball over the top finds Paul, and Paul with an ambitious shot. Two minutes of stoppage time to be played here. As here is Tucker, but Staines getting in front of it and forcing a corner kick. Headed clear as far as Tucker. Here's Schmidt again. And once again denied. And as we wait for the final whistle, Montreal, having done more than enough to dispel the doubts from last match day, have come away with an exceptional 3 points here. 4 goals in the first half, a brace from Mei Suzuki. But it's Rob Tucker with that very quick shot after Suzuki's second and 2 assists on top, who gets player of the match. The own goal from Zerhuni canceled out by a goal at the correct end. John Garfield getting the only proper consolation for Seoul besides that own goal. But ultimately, it was Montreal who were the better team throughout, who take the win today. And so a 5-2 win for Montreal. And certainly they'll be celebrating that after the last match day. Certainly a return to form, or at the very least, respite from a very shocking result. And next up, we move to Inter London, taking on Kapstad. London, of course, 6 points behind, as we said, of North Shore, excuse me. Still looking to try to claw back that deficit somewhat. Inter London, of course, a recent winner of the minor league. And, of course, winning the Season 14 SSL Cup as well, it can't be forgotten. They face a unique challenge in Kapstad. It'll be very interesting to see how they cope. Inter London deploying their offset 4-2-4. Kapstad with an offset 4-2-3-1, reportedly playing off the left shoulder of Penshaw up top. There you see the 6-point deficit for Inter London. A win and dropped points by North Shore would go a long way to fixing that as we get underway here from the Party Dome. Toastman sending it long. Ultimately comes to nothing. And Jesus, that is a... I apologize for that, but what a lunge that was from Dia. And an incredibly reckless challenge on LeBert, and Dia has been sent off for that. I apologize for the sudden interjection, but my goodness. Well, Kapstad will now have an added obstacle now that Dia has been sent off, as the corner kick results in Finley sending it over the bar. My goodness, I haven't seen a challenge like that in quite some time. Certainly not in the SSL. Levere trying to find someone over the top. Ultimately lands with Finley. Finley's shot forced a corner out of Ramos. And sending it in doesn't quite get there. Laurent sending it in again, this time back to Laurent. Now Williams with the 1-2. Q to Levere, and Levere. And it's blocked by Tortellini. And so another corner kick from Inter London. And what a shot from Levere off the post. And it's ricocheted off of Duncan Wallerson and back into the goal. Well, it's gone from bad to worse here for Kapstad. Finley sent it to Levere. Levere with a thunderous shot. Wallerson making a lunge for it as it goes off the post. And it just ricochets off of Wallerson's back and into the net. Certainly not one that Wallerson can really be put at fault for. Sometimes that's literally just how the ball bounces. It's Schweinsteiger winning this ball. And here's Q. Out to Williams. Williams finding Schweinsteiger. Schweinsteiger just blocked. Well, it's just about a nightmare scenario for Kapstad. Down a player and down a goal in the very early stages. We're going to have some serious work to do if they're going to get anything out of this one. Long ball from Wallerson ends up with Guerra, who only finds Laurent. Laurent trying to get around Wagner. Crosses in, and it's off the head of Levere. Finley's free kick finds Ramos, and Laurent able to get onto the end of it. Levert with another shot from distance. Wallerson able to get in front of this one. Laurent to Q. Q at the end line, squares it to Finley. Inter London piling the misery on FC Kapstad. Q got through Wagner and Tortellini. Finley helping the ball along. And this is rapidly turning into one of those days for Kapstad. That early sending off, perhaps opening the door for this Inter-London assault. As here is Williams crossing, and Wallerson holding on to the header from Berbatov. Laurent up the wing now. Wagner in pursuit. Back to Finley. Now Schweinsteiger. And Schweinsteiger had space, but didn't get the shot right. Williams now bringing it up through space. Making a long run here as sends it across, and Levert just missing with that header. Laurent finds Williams. Williams shoots, and AJ Williams scores. And it's another goal on the board for Inter London. And they couldn't have hoped for a better start. They couldn't have hoped for a better half of football, surely, in pursuing North Shore. And as long as they can keep this lead throughout the rest of the match, if North Shore drops points against Atheni, they would be in very good position in the final match days. Remember, only 4 match days remain after today's matches, which is why every point counts. As this header by Gabriel Finley. Well, the onslaught continues as Gabriel Finley gets a second off of the header, getting over Gerald Gerrard. It's a very quick pair of goals from Williams and then from Finley. And Inter London with a 4-0 lead as we near halftime. Finley to Laurent. Hugh squares it to Schweinsteiger, and Wallerson getting in front of it and pushing it behind. There'll be 3 minutes of added time here as Laurent stands over it. Almost headed in. I couldn't get a good look at who headed in. It might have been Schweinsteiger, but not quite on target. Now Kanwai bringing it forward for London. Gets around Penshaw, but sends it back to Laurent. Here's Q. Now Schweinsteiger. Schweinsteiger sends it out. Another minute before the half. Time perhaps for one more London move, it would seem, as Levert to King. Laurent. Laurent squares it, and Dimitar Berbatov has made it 5-0 to Inter London, just on halftime. And at some point, enough has to be enough. But apparently it is not this moment. Not for Dimitar Berbatov. An absolutely staggering performance from Inter London, combined with the sending off of Ali Dia for FC Kapstad. The result is an absolutely impenetrable 5-0 for Inter London. It's very difficult to see a way back from this for FC Kapstad. Down a player and down 5 goals. Well, as I said earlier, it really is a nightmare scenario now. A 3.5 XG for Inter London. Well, 45 minutes to play. Kapstad certainly capable of coming back from this, frankly, gargantuan deficit, but it's very difficult to see how. Laurent now standing over the corner kick. This one headed clear. Now Finley sending it back for Conway. Schweinsteiger to Laurent, or Levert, excuse me. And Levert's shot sent behind. Now it's Laurent with the corner kick. This one headed over by King. Well, in addition to getting the 3 points, holding on to this monumental lead would do quite a bit of work in the goal difference department, as well as JQ's shot. Always a little ambitious. Certainly a large margin of victory such as this could prove vital. North Shore with a fairly large goal difference advantage, but London could be chipping it away at it if this result holds. For now, though, here is Dieter on the far wing, trying to get something started for Kapstad, but can't. Penshaw nearly bringing down Q, but here is Guerra. Wagner, and this is the most advanced Kapstad have been all match. Guerra to Dieter. Dieter from a tight angle. And the Heretic called into action for the first time today. It will be Ripley Dieter to stand over this corner kick. Ultimately sent clear by Powdered Toastman. Almost the Heretic perhaps getting a little complacent in that goal, so might be glad for the moment of excitement there. But mind you, Kapstad have opened things up here in this second half. You saw there briefly in the bottom left, 5 shots, 3 of them on target, after not having had a single shot in the first half. Certainly taking more risks. Understandable, considering when you're 5-0 down, there's not really much to lose. Here's Dieter finding Guerra. Guerra squares it, and Paul Penshaw has one back, pending VAR. Well, it might be too little too late in the grand scheme of things, but VAR will let it stand. And so Capstad do indeed break the clean sheet. Let's look at this replay again. Penshaw right on line with the last defender for Inter London. An impeccably timed run. Timed running down, Capstad seeming more or less unable to make up this deficit as Inter London seizing on the man advantage from Ali Dia's first minute sending off and never looking back. And this goes to show this is why we play soccer with 11 players rather than 10. So Inter London taking advantage of the extra man advantage, seizing the moment, and walking out with a 5-1 home victory over FC Capstad. And now we come to our final match of the day. It's going to be Athenai hosting North Shore United. And it's a very intriguing matchup, this. North Shore, of course, leading the SSL minor division by 6 points going into today's match. Meanwhile, Athenai, who sport that 4-1-3-2, are the only minor league side left in the SSL Cup. They'll have to try to overturn a 3-1 deficit to Tokyo in the second leg of the quarterfinals. For the moment, though, they have a slightly different challenge on their hands as the league leaders have arrived to try to stamp their authority on this division, try to reassert their 6-point lead on Inter London. Here's O'Sullivan, shoots into the defense. North Shore likely the favorites for this, at least if you ask the bookkeepers, but Athenai have made the quarterfinals of the Cup. They could be about to pull a surprise here. Time will tell as Urkel sends this forward. Neymarinho eventually winning it. O'Sullivan, Knezovic passes along to Snooks. And then back to Knezovic. And ultimately it's Tentacles who has a shot, but doesn't get it on target. Free kick for Zanetti. And Von Bismarck just getting a palm on it. An impeccably targeted free kick, but ultimately only gets a corner out of it. Zanetti's corner headed back to Zanetti. Panda winning another corner kick, though, as Athenai getting some early pressure here on North Shore. Zanetti. Cato, though, dispossessing and forcing a throw-in. Tentacles with a throw deep in the Athenai third. Urkel squaring it, and Pat Tato puts North Shore ahead. Well, Tentacles with the 1-2 off the throw from Neymarinho. Urkel with the cross. Tato getting the better of Zanetti in the air. And it is a well-taken header that puts North Shore ahead here. Now here's Casual to O'Sullivan. North Shore looking to widen their lead, but Tentacles doesn't get the run. Oh, that's a poor back pass. And Duke just able to stop Casual from making it 2. A heart-in-mouth moment there for the Athenai defense. And the danger is not over yet as Gerard sends in this corner. Falls to Urkel. Oregon with the pressure. Back to Gerard. Mourinho heads down for Knezovic off the post and sent clear by Washburn. And North Shore with a couple of near misses in very quick succession there. Athenai needing to calm this match down a bit, and maybe change the pace, although here is Corrigan. Squares it, and Soren Panda has equalized! Well, that's one way to seize back the initiative from North Shore. They've gone up the other end and scored a goal of their own. Corrigan just getting it around tentacles, and Panda making the run past Spakjera to be first to the ball, putting it past Von Bismarck. Tentacles chipping it over now. Duke did well to claim that because Pat Tato was lurking there. Now sending it long. Neymarinho bringing it down and coming forward. Neymarinho squares it. O'Sullivan had the shot. Stokes has another one. Duke holding on to it. North Shore really starting to pile on the pressure now, as they so often do. Knezovic, but Bruera Strangin intercepts for the moment. North Shore trying again through tentacles. Now here is Snooks. Pushed back by Smallwood, but Snooks finds a way around. Can't quite find Casual, though. Now here's Tato. Zanetti dispossessing. Now Smallwood sending it up the flank. And here is Scott. Finds the pass to Tali, but it's sent out of play. But the referee has given a penalty here. Referee going over to the monitor, but this would be a huge moment for Athenai if this penalty stands. It was Tali who was brought down in the box, according to the referee. And the penalty has been overturned. There is no penalty here. Almost a real shocking moment for North Shore. Ultimately overturned. But here is Zanetti for Athenai. Corrigan's header. Von Bismarck equal to the task. Jarrow finding space in Gerard. Knezovic with the through ball to O'Sullivan, but ultimately does not come to be where it needs to be. And now Camavinga. Scott now. Got to Panda. And Imo Tali has just put Athenai ahead. Is that the goal that busts this title race wide open? Athenai had no less than 3 players in the box converging on the ball, and it was Tali who put it past the goalkeeper. Now North Shore in some real danger, but here's Tato. Finding Snooks, forces Duke to make another diving save. Gerard. Now Jarrow and Duke taking it out of the air. Well, this could be a very shocking result when all is said and done if this holds. Athenai with a 2-1 lead over the league leaders, North Shore United. What a result this would be for the title race. What a result this would be for Athenai's confidence going into that second leg of the Cup quarterfinal against Tokyo. A very enthralling 45 minutes awaits us here in the second half. And it will be Atheni who get us started, going left to right in the blue and white. As Zanetti dribbling past Casual, squaring it, looking for Tali, but doesn't get on the end of it. It's been a fairly even match, North Shore perhaps having just the better of the chances, but Atheni taking those chances that they've had and find themselves in a very enviable spot here. Here they come again. Here's Corrigan. Washburn back to Camavinga. Camavinga has the shot, ricochets off the defenders. Now, here comes a break for North Shore. O'Sullivan tripped up there by Camavinga. Free kick to North Shore there. Here it is from Neymarinho. Headed clear, but only as far as Knezovic. Neymarinho again, dribbling through, and Duke holding on to it. Well, time ticking down here. Atheni looking to hold on to this lead. And here comes Panda with that pass. Can't find Smallwood. Camavinga with it though. Panda in space. Panda very nearly makes it 3-1. A very near miss from Atheni. Could have really put this match to bed. But instead, it is North Shore who have it now. And here is Tato coming forward. Tato into the box, has a shot. Sails over the crossbar and into the stands. 20 minutes remain for Atheni to hold on to this 3 points. Camavinga loses out. Casual getting onto the end of it. Now Knezovic. Once again, North Shore coming forward. Headed down by Washburn. Now here's Casual again. Tato squares it. It falls to Urkel, but nothing doing. Free kick for North Shore. Casual sends it into the wall and behind for a corner kick. This is enthralling, exciting stuff here from the SSL Miners. Sent into the air. Snooks gets back to it. Atheni winning possession. Here's Scott sending it all the way up the other end. 15 minutes to play now. Inter London watching this match with renewed interest. Here come North Shore though. Knezovic to Snooks, who gets around Zanetti. Knezovic to Tato! And North Shore say, not so fast. Equalizing 2-2 as Tato drilling that into the top corner. They'll still drop points if this holds, but 1 point certainly better than none. But that won't satisfy them. They're going for all 3. Urkel though. Pass to Neymarinho, not on target. Neymarinho trying and failing to get around Washburn. Here's Knezovic from the edge of the box. What a save that was from Duke. That was curling right into the bottom corner. Now here is Gerard sending it in. Punched clear by Duke, but it falls to Urkel into the mass and ruled it out for another corner kick. As we near 10 minutes to play. And Casual just missing over the bar. Oh, with 10 minutes to play, this could still have huge implications on the title race. As here is a corner kick for Atheni. Zanetti standing over it. The delivery. Tali! The hero of Greek myth, Imotali, might have just put Athani ahead here for good. So late in the match. What a result this would be for Athani, for London. But it's not over yet as North Shore with the corner kick. Snooks sending it in. Headed up. Zanetti heading clear. Urkel getting to it. Less than a minute to play here. Urkel with the cross. And it's headed down and in by Pat Tato. Pat Tato, the hat-trick hero here in Athens. And it saved a point for North Shore. Athani denied what would have been a famous victory with the last gasp. Can they make it 4 in the closing seconds? No. Casual ruled offside. And that is the match. Athani, who had led for so long in this match, who were fingertips away from an incredible victory, forced to settle despite the brace from Imotali and the contribution from Soren Panda, forced to settle for just a point from that incredible performance, courtesy of the hat trick from the player of the match, Pat Tato, for North Shore United. And while North Shore do drop points, and their lead is now shaved to just 4 over London, North Shore remaining able to save at least some of their blushes with that stoppage time equalizer. What a match that was. And there you have it. That was our final match of the day. Let's go over our results once more. Cairo City, of course, with that 2-0 victory over AS Paris at the top of the broadcast, followed by Montreal dispelling the demons and winning 5-2 over Seoul. Then FC Kapstad left in the lurch by Ali Diaz sending off, led Inter London to a 5-1 victory. And then, of course, that incredible match we just witnessed between Atheni and North Shore. Well, that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Only 4 matches remain in the minor league season. It is going to get very spicy from here on in. Until next time, take care.